Everyone, I know it's been a while. The only problem here with recording is that we currently don't have any Wi-Fi, so I'm uploading off my partner's data and it takes hours and hours and hours. But here's a games night tonight. Today's video is going to be a pet tag because currently we have 7 animals. We only moved in with 2, so in the last 2 months we've obtained an extra 5 animals. That jingling is the cats. They'll probably be the easiest, but first I'm going to show you the rats. My living room currently has no light bulb, so it's lit by a lamp and some fairy lights around their cage. You can see that pretty well actually. But we got these guys a couple of days ago. They're really new. One is a little bit skittish and the other is pretty friendly now. They're both horse for popcorn, which it's rat popcorn, well, rodent popcorn, but they're who I'm going to show you first. Then I'll probably move on to the cats just because they're going to be in the background begging for my attention. So without doubt, let's get going. I'll be back in, well, I'll talk you through the cage first, or what you can see of it. Right. So here we have the rat cage. You can't see super well. We've got some fleece, some toilet rolls, we've got a hammock. That mug has some peas in. They got their little food bowl, which says munch. They've got a mineral salt lick just down here. Joan is hiding around that corner. Got their big nesting ball, which they don't particularly use. They do have a wheel that we're looking to replace because it's wire and they don't like it very much, which is fair enough. But I will be back in just a second and I will let you get to know our new little rats. Hi, so this little girl here is Joan. They're named Joan and Lita from The Runaways because this is one of my favourite bands and Joan Jett's one of my idols. Little known fact. But she is the sweetie. She doesn't mind coming out. They're still both a little bit unhandled because we've only had them a few days. We bought them from a pet shop, which a lot of people don't recommend doing, but we seem to have lucked out with Joan. I haven't owned rats before. I have owned hamsters, I have owned a guinea pig, I have been around rabbits, but I've never owned rats. So it's a new experience for me. Yeah, we're currently feeding them on Give me a sec. There you go, sweetie. She's expecting popcorn now. Go on, shove off. We're currently feeding them on multi-grain stuff. I know that doesn't make any sense, but a lot of people don't recommend it because a lot of rats will pick and choose. Ours don't. They eat it all. And treat-wise, they can have some dried pasta, some frozen thawed peas, or we have some cherry popcorn, which is normally what they get as a reward for coming out and behaving. It's working really well so far. Excuse me. But that is what Joan is waiting for. Waiting for your popcorn. So I have to give them both some popcorn at the end, and give me a second and I'll grab Lita if I can. I'm only going to show you guys her for a second. Sorry, that's a nice close-up of my face because she really is a bit skittish. She doesn't like being out very much, but she's a hooded rat. She's another little girl. She is sweet. She's just very, very skittish right now and we're working on that. So I am probably immediately going to put her back because she's going to be a handful. Right, so just going to give them their popcorn for being out and being good. Johnny, you go, running away with her popcorn in the nesting ball. That's mostly what she uses that for. So yeah, it's just this little cherry popcorn. We bought it from a normal pet shop. They don't get it too often, but often enough. Lita, Lita. Come on now. No, not for you. That was my phone. Right, so that was a bit hectic. But now they've both had their popcorn. They're both hiding away with their popcorn. And that is the rats. There's not a whole lot to say about them. They're both healthy as far as I can tell. They're both female as far as I can tell. Which they obviously were sexed as female, but apparently a lot of pet shops have a habit of getting that wrong. Well, I don't really understand how, but there we go. So yeah, they got their water bottle, they got a chew on each floor, they've got their hammock on the top floor, their nesting ball on the bottom floor. We're using fleecing for the lining right now just because it's so much easier to just wash it, and they really seem to like it. Lita likes to sleep under it. So I guess next we'll move on to the cats, just because they're gonna run at me from the door. And they're very cute, but very needy, and you've probably heard them meowing in the background. So, let's go do that. Right, so I've got the cats in the alcove right now. They really want to go where the rats are, but we haven't quite worked out how we're gonna keep the rats safe but let them run around, so we're still working on that. But I will grab cat numero 1. So, you've probably seen her in a few other videos, if you've watched like 2 that are up. She's not going to like being held very long. Come on, baby. This is Artemis, named after the Greek goddess of the hunt, and it suits her very well. You want to go on the floor? She is just a little true tortie. We got her way too young, but she has been completely fine despite that. She's grown bigger than our other cat now, who is technically older. They're both only a couple months old, but they're so big compared to when we got them. She is the more reserved. She doesn't particularly like cuddling or being needy as much as our other cat, Nyx. She's obviously also older. She's at the front door right now. What are you doing? What are you doing, Auntie? Yeah, she's just basically the more reserved, less crazy one. She's quite quiet and nice, so I'll just go grab Nyx. He'll probably be happier about being picked up. This is my little black kitty, Nyxie. NYX, kind of like the makeup gram, but she was named after the goddess of night. And she is a character, aren't you? Down we go. She is the one that cries whenever I leave the room, like she's dying. She sleeps with me, she follows me around. She is just a character. Half the time she's a very silent meow, but then obviously I leave the room and she starts screaming. So you can hear her now. She's, she is younger. We have a bit of health trouble with both. Nyx's stomach was our main problem. She was on some probiotics for a while. They've both been wormed. Artemis managed to get in a fight with Nyx and get her eye scratched, and then when the vet injected something to stop infection, she started spitting up green bubbles, so we all freaked out a bit. But apparently it was all fine. She's all fine now. They both had jabs. First one not so nice because Artemis squirmed around and made herself bleed. Nyx has been perfect with both. They both have a habit of not cleaning themselves too well, so they've had to have a bath a couple of times, which with Nyx isn't too much of a problem. She will generally just sort of sit and accept it unhappily, but won't cause any fuss. However, we can't even take Artemis in the bathroom anymore because she hates it. She claws to the bone. Fizzy drinks, not good for you. But generally, they're both very sweet. Are you? Nyxie! Auntie! Yeah, she doesn't care. Nyx knows her name, but Artemis doesn't care. So, to not drag this out too much, we now have 3 reptiles to go through. We're going to have a few iffy shots of one of our snakes because she, we believe, is starting to shed now, and she's very, very grumpy. And I'm probably not going to pick her up and hold her, basically, but with the front camera, that's going to make my life a bit difficult. So we now have Seraphina and Salem, 2 corn snakes. One is an angell and one is an anery. You've met Seraphina before, she's the one going to shed, so that's not too bad. And then we have Spook, who's our crested gecko. So I'll talk you more whilst we're in there. Right, so moving on to our 2 corn snakes. They are both really young, so they're only in faunariums right now. They will eventually need moving up, obviously, but right now they're both just little. So Seraphina is currently in this setup. She's in a skull hide, which isn't normally there, but I've moved her so we can see her. She currently has this little ball. It's empty. It's just if her shed isn't as easy as it should be, we're going to try raise the humidity a bit. And she's got her normal ball. And that is Seraphina. You can just see her. I'm not going to mess with her. I got bit the other day for the first time because I didn't realise she was going into shed and she's very grumpy. It didn't hurt, it didn't even bleed, she couldn't even break the skin. But she is an amelanistic, and it's typically harder to notice them going into their blue phase, but we think she's gone through hers or going through hers. Being a new snake owner is kind of difficult in that respect. The next snake is Salem, and he is an anerythristic. He's got quite a lot of yellow in him for an anerythristic though, but I'll grab him out. He doesn't particularly like being handled so much yet. We got him from a shop that I don't particularly think handled him much when he was younger, so now I'm trying to work that through. He's never bit me. He's a good snake, he's just a bit jumpy, so don't be alarmed if you see him sort of thrash a little bit. Okay, so, oh dear God, this is Salem. This is hard to do with one hand. Hey bud, oh come on now. He's an anarthristic, as I said, doesn't like people, as I also said. 5 seconds. I'm not going to mess with him too long, because one-handed this is extremely difficult. But, nice of him to go by my boobs. He is a beautiful snake. He's gained size since we got him, and he'll probably need to move up enclosure soon. But he is honestly beautiful. He's never bitten, no matter how scared he is. He's just a sweetie. So I've set it up a bit better, so I can hold it with 2 hands. He's so much more chill now. He's a good boy. But here he is. He's got really high yellow on his sides. Ooh, we're saying boy, we're assuming boy right now. You can kind of see his tail. But he's very pretty, and once he chills out, he's really inquisitive and docile. He's a good boy. I do love him. He's currently in the same sort of faunarium, but he has a corkbark hide, a bigger water bowl, and a little cactus. He hasn't shed since we've had him yet. I don't think he's anywhere close to doing it either. Like I said, he has grown a bit, so I was kind of expecting it, because he definitely wasn't this sort of long when we got him. But he is completely beautiful. I love him so much. Our next animal is Spook, the crested, well, next one last actually. He is a baby, there's no way I'm getting him out, not till he's older. He's very, well, not scared, he's jumpy. But he is a really beautiful animal. He's been very fired up the last few days, we're not 100% why. But he is currently on crested gecko diet in strawberry. He seems to like it enough. We had a lot of worry when we first got him that he wasn't eating. Anyone else having that worry with a new baby, do not panic. They will poop eventually, you will see it. It's just apparently their stomach right now is about the size of their eyeball. So they're only having about a lick of food. You won't notice anything in the food. We haven't yet to feed him on some locusts, but we will be getting there eventually. He's currently in his starter setup. We're getting him a bigger one next payday, which we will deck out for him, and hopefully he'll be a bit happier. It's not like this is tiny or anything. He's fine in it, really. But, yeah, sorry, this is going to be really hard to show. He is grumpy. But there is Spook. He's still got his tail, which is impressive enough to me. And obviously he's got 3 different sets of leaves. He's got some fake grass, a fake stump with a little leaf down there. He is on toilet paper at the moment because, like I said, I was freaking out that he wasn't eating, and I wanted to be able to see if he had pooped. But all in all, that is everything. Yeah, that's everyone right now. Obviously, we have plans to get more reptiles in the future, but that's on the back burner for now whilst we get these set up in their forever enclosures. Please ignore the mess. Sorry. But that is everything. And we're going to sign off. Nixie! Alright, signing off, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it's not too long-winded. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.